Cut off, guys. So the last thing we were reading was, because God had loved King David and promised that David's kingdom in Judah would never end, God wasn't going to completely destroy Judah like he had destroyed Israel. Isaiah's message told about horrible things that would happen, but it was also filled with hope for the future. So Isaiah is a book of prophecy, and it really kind of lays down the foundation for Jesus. So a very important book. It is definitely a hopeful book, I believe, overall. But what amazes me, and what I was talking about before we got cut off, was that we have a disbelief in God, but we had so many prophets and so many things come true, and archaeological evidence constantly backed in the Bible. This withstands the test of time. It withstands the prophecy. I mean, it does amazing things, and we still doubt, despite its ability to predict the future and back up all its claims. And when we talk about the main message of Elijah, I think the main message is to stand up for God despite those around you. Don't conform, and don't feel like you have to be pressured by the powers above. If everybody's doing it, it doesn't make it right. And Elijah understood that. He stood alone for God in a time that was very troublesome. And so we want our faith to be like Elijah's, where we have such a faith in God, such a faith in His Word, such a faith in Jesus Christ, that we will proclaim it, even if we're the only ones, even if it means certain death, we'll continue to proclaim His Word. And that's what the story of Elijah is about. And even if we get down, even if we get depressed or lonely, like Elijah did, that we're going to look to God for encouragement, pick ourselves back up again, and continue in God's Word. And we always want to make a big difference. It's all or nothing with our generation, where we want to do huge things for God. But sometimes God may want you just to disciple that one person. And that one person may go on to affect thousands. They may not. But if you were to save a baby from a burning car, you would think you're a hero, right? I saved a baby today. It's not a big deal. Not a hero or anything. But you would think it's a big deal. You would tell that story to your kids, to their grandkids, forever. But we don't look at it as a big deal when we save somebody's soul, when we win them over to Jesus, where we are able to win them over for Jesus Christ. But it's such a bigger deal because we're saving their eternal lives, not just their physical ones. It's a bigger deal. They don't have to spend eternity in damnation and in hell, but now they get to spend eternity in God's presence. This should be a bigger deal. So even if you just get to mentor one person, even if you only have one person in your life, one neighbor that will listen to you, a child, a family member, a brother, a sister that will listen to you, proclaim God's message, do what you can to pour into them and win them over for Jesus Christ. In God's power, not our own, but it's such a big deal, guys. It's so important to stand up for God's Word, even if we stand alone. And that's the message of Elijah. Stay true to God, even despite overwhelming odds and adversity. And He will be with you. As God was with Elijah in all of his ministry, He'll be with you as well as you proclaim His name. As long as you do so with a humble heart and that you proclaim a sound doctrine. Make sure you're not saying things that aren't true of God. You don't want to be like the people of Israel who are just trying to please everybody. Baal, God, whoever wants some can have some of my soul. Be devoted to God's Word and God's Word alone. And there are some books that talked about in here that this won't go over, and I think we'll skim over those tomorrow because I think it's important you guys know them. Not tomorrow, I'm sorry, next week. And I'll briefly discuss those with you guys as well. And as you guys are learning more, I hope you see the symbology between Moses parting the waters and Elijah parting the waters of the sea, and just how God is the same God today, yesterday, and He will be forever in the future. He'll be with us always, and I hope you join us next week for Bible study, guys, as we get a deeper dive into some of our prophets and some of the other books that the story won't talk about. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.